Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast.
Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today, I have my friend, Caleb Luketic, all the way from Tennessee, man. What part of Tennessee are you at now? I know you've moved around.
Yeah. So we're over in the Tri-Cities, which is East Tennessee, about as far east as you could make it, basically. So,
So you're on Eastern time right now, right?
yeah. Yep.
Okay. You went to my Attend Growth event back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, in Miami, Florida.
Yeah. One of those. I've been to a couple of them, but I forget. They all mesh in, but yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
And back then you were promoting your agency that you had grown, and you were doing a lot of advertising for SEO and other forms of marketing for multiple people, including me. I think I worked with you guys for a little bit. What has happened after that? Like, how has that evolution of Caleb going? Like, what have you done, brother?
Yeah, man, there's been a lot of different things, man. A lot of different fun stuff. We can get into a lot of different crazy stories in the last 5 years. But from bad partnerships, I'm sure we've all been through our fair share of those, going into it. And, thankfully had some documents outlined up front that made it a little bit easier in the back end. Still not easy, but easier, right? Whenever you go through some craziness there, and had to step away from that part of it, from the agency, just because, man, it just got to the point where, I won't get too deep into it, but I'll put it this way. There's many lawsuits that happened on that former side because of some things that they were doing that were pretty shady, that I stepped away from, saying like, hey, I can't have my name tied to this. What we started out doing was great. And then money got in the way, and the sight of all this making money got some individuals greedy, and things didn't work, right? And so, man, it's been a lot of fun. Tiffany and Josh High, right? I mean, I was director of marketing over there at Results Driven for a better part of a year. My whole agency, actually, we were completely in with them. And man, I just got the bug missing real estate. Right. I mean, just to be honest, man, I was like, man, I miss it. And, so we just got right back into it. And man, the last almost 2 years now, back in the saddle, and have just really the last 18 months, I should say, really full in. And man, it's been fun. There's been a lot of ups and downs. That's a whole other story. I'm sure we can jump into. We got plenty of time, but yeah, now back into the real estate side of things, and still got the agency rolling, but we just do things the right way now, much smaller focus, but still helping lots of different investors and contractors and lots of other folks with the marketing side too.
I love it. So you mentioned ups and downs. Let's talk about the downs. Can you tell me some downs that you've gone through in the last 5 years?
Yeah, man, let's talk about them, right? Building a baby, right? Like taking your thing that you've poured your heart and soul into, and pretty much having to give it up and walk from it. And saying, you know what? I'm going to take what little I can, and we're going to move on because it's the right thing to do, to keep the integrity right there, right? That's the hardest part, is that one. Great lesson of, okay, giving up money in exchange for the integrity of your person, of your name. Sometimes you have to, right? That's more important, more valuable, is you as an individual, what that you're not giving up and really turning yourself over to the greed and the pride that can come with that. I think that's a huge one. That one's more kind of a intangible thing, right? Let's talk about the real estate side, man. Putting the wrong people in charge, doing, trying to do too many things at once, right? Man, we through circumstances, we can jump into it here, but man, we had lost a little over $500,000 over the course of about 20 different properties. And so, you start doing the math on how that shakes out. It's like, okay, that's not that bad if it had stopped after 1 or 2, but it just kind of continued. And this is what happens when you try to do the right thing. You think you're giving somebody an opportunity to work who really wants to. It's a good guy, a good gal, right? Like that type of a thing. Oh, we're doing the right thing. Well, lack of processes, systems, and accountability, that can go downhill real quick. And so, I had to fight through that, but all through that now, and now we're just rocking and rolling, better systems, better processes than we've really ever had.
So can we talk about improving, right? Like, because I think I have you on my previous podcast, Caleb, and usually I tell tell me the journey into the world of real estate, right? And I think you already did that in before. So if you guys wanna know more about Caleb personally, you can go back and find that podcast. I don't know, we're 300 episodes down now, so I don't know what number that is, to be honest with you. It's somewhere in there. And if I'm wrong, let me know on the comments down below. That way I can bring Caleb back on and he can tell us a story about himself. But today I want to talk more about operations and flipping and all the things that he's involved with, because he's got a lot of experience, not only on the real estate side, but also on the marketing side. And we're going to tie those two down towards the end of this call. Or the podcast, actually. So now, so you mentioned you trusted people that you thought you were doing the right thing by giving them a job or a task or whatever the relationship was, but they didn't turn out to do the same. How are you preventing from getting in that position again?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that a couple things, right? So let's just go back a little bit because I think it's important to set the stage, right? At the time, I was like, man, I miss real estate. We were just talking about it off of the air, which we can talk about this as well. But there's a well-known educator in the space, and even previous to them, I was working for multiple other educators and just really running their whole back end marketing systems, building all of that stuff. So, again, we can mention them or not, but probably for those of you that have ever bought education, I'm probably somebody that built a lot of the funnels and things that made you decide to do that. And so,
yeah, it's okay to mention them. I don't like, some of them have been on the podcast, and
those, it was results driven, simple CFO, and some others as well. So this was in probably late 22, early 23. Man, I really miss real estate. Always have that bug, right? And so it just through things that had happened. Hey, there's an individual that has some experience, can help kind of manage some things. Hey, this could be a great way to kind of bridge the gap a little bit, dabble in real estate, but still do what I'm loving on the marketing front, right? And man, I think the biggest lessons were these, really. Number one, it doesn't matter how great of an individual you think they are, or they actually are. If there's no systems in place, they're going to fail.
Yeah.
So that is failure number one, big time, right there, right? And really, the second thing, kind of leading back into that, if there's no checks and balances, if there's no accountability, goes back to the system, right? If there's no system there, how can you tell if they're doing a good job or not, right? Are they meeting completion deadlines? Are they getting things done under budget? Are they right? Like, these are those things that our vision was great, right? It was, hey, I wanted to give people jobs and give people opportunities from recovery programs and other things, which we still get to do now, which, again, doing a lot better and more streamlined now. But that was the heart. That was the vision, right? Giving people opportunities that maybe they wouldn't get elsewhere, right? Great vision, right? Great heart behind it, but poor execution of not of really just kind of giving it over to somebody else who just again wasn't the right fit, had no systems, we weren't accountable. Those were the biggest things. Looking back, that it was like, man, how did I not see that? And it was just little by little increments here and there, and all of a sudden, here's this mess that I've got to come in to clean up.
All right. And at what point, I know you said I got the bug back to get into real estate. When did you actually say, I'm going to go just do it?
Like what point? Like when? Like when?
Yeah. Like roughly, like was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It would have
How
been.
did it start? What was the first thing you did when you said, I'm going to go back to the real estate?
Yeah. So the first thing, it was actually when we had first kind of moved out to this new area in March or April of 22. Was like, hey, so I found one property on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, hey, okay, this could be something. We did the deal, renovated it, flipped it. I think we made 5-10 grand, nothing special. That house had its own set of problems. But it's like, hey, we're back into it. This is fun. And then, just kind of slowly started to run some ads and send some postcards. Nothing crazy, nothing, not some outrageous amount. But yeah, so about 3 years ago, about 18 months of that was that kind of, on and off, having somebody else run some things and going through it. And then really for the last 18, 19 months has been full-fledged back into it and just absolutely crushing it.
What was the first property you got yourself involved with? Was it a wholesale deal, a fix and flip, a new build? What do you do?
Yeah, so way back when I first started about a decade ago was all wholesale. That's a really great entry point for somebody trying to get into it. Just to kind of get a feel for, okay, how does this process work? Great one. But yeah, about 3 years ago, we actually flipped a couple, then bought some rentals. Realized I was like, all right, landlord is not for me. Peace. I'm done. I'm out. Don't want to do it, and so we really pivoted some into the owner finance world, and had done a few of those every now and then, on and off. But now, even right now, we're really pivoting and shifting our model away from full rehabs to flip, but rather taking those and actually owner financing. And that's been a phenomenal model. In fact, today, just as before I got on this, my team sent out a contract to be signed. We're going to sell a house owner financing, and then earlier this morning we got another one. So that's 2 sold today on owner financing, which has been awesome. So I'm excited. As the market shifts, we're adapting and shifting.
Now, those owner finance deals, you're selling them as is, right?
Yeah. So a couple things, right? So this is the part that I've tested and tried a lot of this. And so we've tried them as is. We've tried them kind of middle of the road, and we've tried them completely gutted and renovated, right? Our biggest success point has been that middle of the road. So as is, we try to keep it as is, if that makes sense. So we try not to do this big lavish renovation, but we want to make sure the big core things, right? Is the roof leaking? Does the HVAC work? Does the plumbing work? Does the power work, right? Those things. As long as it has heating and air, no roof leaks, the kitchen's operation, the bathroom's good, and the plumbing's not leaking everywhere. As long as inside's livable, we can sell them. And so that's what we focus on, is we fix those big things and we really sell them as an equity building opportunity. That's really the biggest thing that we sell them as, and people love that stuff. And here's the one thing I've noticed, which is interesting, and I'm curious for those of you guys watching this, how many of you have heard this on any properties that you are flipping on the MLS? And I'll tell you a story. One of the flips, we actually have closing next week. It's been a pain. We've had to drop this thing 50 grand plus from where we listed it at to even getting an offer, and our offer was even lower than that. So big drop. All of a sudden, we're like, what's happening? This house, we had 3 different people come to this house. They loved it. They were between a few different houses. The color of the garage door was the thing that swayed them. So they told us to go somewhere else. Like, so tell me to put a new garage door in, right? Like, don't, and I kid you not, I can't even make this up. One of the buyer's agents literally was like, if the color of the garage door is that, I can't imagine how shoddy the rest of the work is. Mind you, this is a brand new house. Like, we had to reframe stuff, insulation, new wiring, plumbing. It's a brand new freaking house. Versus owner financing, I have had people literally weep on my shoulder, crying. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to buy a house. I didn't think it was possible. So you go from picking over a garage door color, tell me to put a new one in, I will, to I never thought this was possible. So that mindset shift on those 2 different ends of the spectrum, I was like, wait a minute, we've got something here, and that's really why we've kind of shifted that way. And I'm excited for it.
How are you funding the owner finance deal on the purchase end?
Yeah,
To be
absolutely.
able to wrap it, because I'm assuming you're wrapping these things.
Yes, we are. So
Okay.
I'm not just made of money. All right. I don't have just
Right.
millions sitting here. Right. If I did, we wouldn't be talking. I'd be
Yeah,
playing
you'll be somewhere on an island having fun.
all golf, nothing else. So let's talk about how we're actually doing this. So we are selling them contract for deed, which is a type of owner financing. What we're doing is we've got certain lenders that I have went to, said, hey, here's what we're doing. One of them is a local institution, a local a bank,
Bank.
3 locations. That's it, right? Very small. And another one is a pretty large lender, actually, and they understand it as well. And so what we're doing is we're basically going to get rental loans, a DSCR loan on
Yeah.
these properties, and we're just taking them rather than renting them. We are selling them contract for deed. And so, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's exactly what it sounds like. You keep the deed until the contract is completed, meaning that they've paid the full amount, whether it's in one lump sum or over 15, 20, whatever year amount you set forth. And so it's a great way. Here's how I look at this. And this is why I love it. On one house, you eat 3 times, right? So 1, down payment. They bring money down, right? We're getting right now on average about $8,000 to $10,000 down. Some of you out there who do this might be like, well, Caleb, you suck. It's like, hey, my market, that's what my market gives me. I'm not in, Dallas, San Antonio, these big metro areas where I can go and get $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I'm in a population of about 300,000 people. That's it. With no big industry, most mom and pop type shops operating this whole area. The healthcare system is the #1 job provider in this area. So it's not this big expanse, right? So it's really good for the areas that we are in, and it's working out really, really well. So again, down payment, cash flow every month, plus your equity. I got a text message today from one of the deals that we did about 15 months ago. And they said, hey, great news. We want to refinance. Awesome. Great. So what does that mean for me?
You get paid.
Going to get about a $30,000 check, right? For a deal I did 15 months ago that they gave me $8,000 down on. I've been cash flowing about $500 a month from. And then that. Are you kidding me? I did it one time. Now, the flip side, people say, well, keep it as a rental, right? I don't want to fix toilets. I'll just go do it again and again and again. 3 times, 1 house. I like that.
Now, when you do a contract for deed, because that's the name that is given in Tennessee, actually, okay? I have a client that does a lot of those. Actually, we're doing all the dispositions for him.
Nice.
We're selling all his contract for these houses basically. Because he targets Hispanics, and my call center in Venezuela, they talk to them, and they even help them at the closing table translate the documents and stuff like that. So it's crazy. And I
It's
just
awesome.
found out I just found out we were doing that today, literally.
Nice.
Yeah. So on a contract for do you foreclose or do you evict?
See, that's the beauty. You evict.
Okay.
And so that's where it gets, because
So
I've done it.
it's literally a lease option, is what it is. It's a lease to own.
Yep. It is a rent to own lease option. It's in that same category. The way that my attorney described it to me, that because it's an owner financing tool, is because you're actually giving them a actual mortgage schedule. That here's
Yeah.
the payment schedule versus rent to own is typically, hey, make these payments, and then I'm going to give you that credit when you go get pre-approved to buy it and cash me out, as opposed to financing the whole thing, right? So that's why it kind of is considered and kind of falls more so under the owner financing end of it, because of the way that we set that up. And it works out great. And like I said, that mindset shift is such a big thing that people don't realize. And I'm sure, I mean, look, for those of you guys watching it who have houses listed on the MLS, I almost guarantee you've had stupid comments of, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that you and I both know are really easy to fix, right? But that's the thing turning them off versus a more as is or mid-level rehab job selling like this, right? I mean, it's easy.
I love it. Now, when you do this acquisition, what is your main channel for marketing for doing these acquisitions?
Man, on the seller side or the buyer side?
The buyer side.
Buyer side. So, love Facebook Marketplace, but I got banned.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. It's the seller side is what I meant. Then we'll go to the buyer side. Yeah.
So seller side. You know what's funny is I, was in that stage of like, okay, do we go wider or deeper? Right? Like what's, because there's arguments on both sides. So we went deep. TV ads, cold calling, direct mail, Facebook, Google. I mean, you name it, all at one time. 30, 40,000 a month pouring into this. And all of a sudden, I kind of took a step back and was looking at everything deep. You know what our best 3 channels are? In this exact order: SEO, Facebook ads, Google ads. Those 3 things. So what we just recently did is we cut out everything. No more direct mail, no more television ads, no more texting, no more, nothing else. Those 3 things. And when we did that, we have back to back set company records.
What about YouTube?
No YouTube right now. We don't do YouTube. It can work. We have, when we look at it from my market, my small market here, it's not the best option.
Have you run it?
We have.
Okay.
Yep. We have run them. It didn't perform that well. Now, when we run those for clients that we do marketing for in other bigger areas, YouTube crushes it. It does awesome. It does great. Just my market is very small. Here's what I tell everybody about my area. It's about 15 years behind everywhere else, right? So TikTok, not really a thing, right? It is, right? But like around here, people are on Facebook, right? Think of 15 years ago. What was everybody on talking about? Well, it was the basics, right? Facebook mainly. So give it another 5, 10, 15 years, TikTok and YouTube, I'm sure will begin to take more of a hold here. But those are our big 3 things, and they're crushing it.
Okay, that's good. So now, what about on the buyer side?
Yeah, so that's been the most challenging one. So for sure, Facebook Marketplace was the best, like hands down. until I got banned. So Facebook won't tell me why. They won't restore access to it, which sucks. But on Facebook Marketplace, man, we could sell a deal in about 3 days. Flat, easy, done. So what we're doing now,
But you got banned, you said?
yeah, from Facebook Marketplace. Yep.
Why?
Great question. A lot of other people I know doing owner financing, the same thing happens. That we are scamming people, quote unquote. And so Facebook declines us, and we are basically banned from Marketplace. I can do everything else, just Marketplace. And I've even got my check on there, and I've talked to the specialized customer support, and they're like, "Well, we have to submit the ticket, and then we just never hear back."
Yeah, they're almost impossible to talk to anybody on Facebook.
Yeah, it is a void, a black hole. So what we're doing instead is we're running Facebook ads, right? So we're running just like you would for, sellers, now just for the buyer side of things. And what we're doing is we're getting them in, built the funnel on the back end to, hey, what areas are you looking for? We've got some AI built in there, texting them and talking to them. And hey, what areas are you looking for? How much money do you have for a down payment? Things like that. And we're getting these leads so cheap. And so we're able to go in there and mine through that and build our list. And actually, one of the houses we sold today, we sent a text message out to our whole list, and that's where this one came from. So, and that person first found us from those ads on social media. And so we're building our list bigger and bigger. But again, it all is stemming from starting onto the Facebook ads side of things and running those. And people are just opting in, curious, shopping. Yeah, what's available? What do you have? Very no pressure. Just come and check out what we have. And then when people are ready, they tend to kind of raise their hand and say, "Yeah, I like that house. When can I check it out?"
Are you using Go High Level for the CRM, like to manage all these leads? And
man, I tell you what, I've built CRMs for so many different people in so many different industries. And I just Go High Level is the best one. I'm sorry. For those of you using Salesforce and Podio, good for you guys. You're doing awesome. Keep working harder. Go ahead. Go High Level, we use it for sellers, for the buyers, for our construction business, for junk removal that we run, for everything. It's all Go High Level, all of them.
yeah, we use Go High Level as well. And maybe offline we can talk a little bit about it. But my challenge was with my email campaigns. My email list is pretty big, and even though I had a high deliverability rate, the open rate was very low, and a lot of these messages were going to spam and stuff. And it when I was emailing from Kajabi, okay, and Kajabi, I had an open rate of 30%.
Yeah,
but Kajabi decided to kick me out. And I didn't break any rules, by the way. Like, I was just sending the amount of emails they allow me to under that plan. And they actually didn't let me renew. It was weird the way it worked. And I went to Go High Level, and everything dropped. So kind of like, for me, Go High Level was the one that I thought was gonna be able to do the emails. And we warmed up the list, and we did a bunch of things for domain reputation and all that. But at the end of the day, I just haven't had a good outcome on the emails. So I canceled it for a while, and then my team was so used to using Go High Level for like sending contracts, and because they're like, "What are we gonna use now for sending contracts?" I was like, "DocuSign," and they're like, "Well, can you get the DocuSign so we can like?" And then I go back on DocuSign, and they're like, "Well, you have to pay X amount of dollars for," and I'm like, "Why did I close Go High Level?" Right? So, anyhow, I re-upped it, and we're back on it.
good.
But because I got out of it, I had to go and do the A2P again in a lot of these accounts.
Yep.
And man, that's a pain in the neck. You know what I'm saying? So
it is. It's a pain getting all the phone numbers and domains, just verifying and re-registering the whole thing.
Yeah,
In the
it is.
butt.
It is. So we're doing it right now, right? So yeah, those of you that are watching this podcast or listening to it, Go High Level will serve for everything, like everything you can think of. Is the best whiteboard I have ever seen in my life. It's just that you have to be techie enough to learn how to work the guts of it, and like you said, domain registration, domain, the warm up the list, A2P registrations, you name it. There's so many moving parts to it. You're better off hiring Caleb or a guy like somebody on my team to go work on that stuff for you than you trying to go figure that out, because it's gonna take you months. Unless you know Go High Level.
Exactly. That's what I tell everyone too, is like, I don't care if you hire me or somebody else, but just pure like time, cost, benefit analysis. Okay, if it takes you 10 hours to figure it out, could you have spent that 10 hours doing something else? Is it worth it for $200, $500, $700 to go have somebody else take care of it? Probably so.
Yeah. So now I know you're a very tech savvy person. What kind of AI tools are you using on your business today?
Yeah, man. So, there's probably more that we could do. I really have been, really the last 2 years, I would say, really trying to narrow that in to not get so shiny object syndrome, and really just, okay, what are our core problems? How do we solve those? And what tools help me? And I dabble and explore every now and then, but I try to rein myself in. So in the context of the real estate investing world, really the biggest things we're using right now are exactly Go High Level, answering our phone calls, conversating with people, whether it be text message, Facebook ads, that stuff. That's a huge, fantastic. And really Chat GPT. I know that sounds really elementary and really basic, but we've actually integrated and built in Chat GPT. We've integrated with our local MLS that we can plug in to Chat GPT, where we can download so my acquisitions team, when they process or they triage a seller, it's all on a form that they can submit, type everything out. We can download that, give it to Chat GPT, say, hey, based on this transcript, based on these responses, here's the address. What's the ARV? What's the as is value? And go give me an offer, and go spit it into there. And it will calculate that backwards and give us that. And so now all of a sudden, all that I do is I just verify it. You know as well as I do, AI is not 100%
No,
there.
and it's not perfect.
You've got to double check it. Just because it can do it doesn't mean it's going to do it right. So we always double check everything. We look at the offer. I give the green light to my sales team, make sure, hey, this is good, or just some small tweaks and changes, and then they go and actually execute. But it saved us tons of time. Now, it took a lot of time to build that out, right? That's not something just readily available on Chat GPT to go build that out. You have to know how to code stuff and integrate that to even make that happen. But man, it's been a game changer using that. And like I said, I know it's pretty simple, pretty elementary in terms of the AI available, but I think that's the beauty of it. If the simpler you keep it, typically the more successful you're going to be with it than trying to all these 17 different AI things, and you barely use all of them. Pick one or two and really go deep into using those. And all of a sudden, I think for those of you watching me, kind of, okay, what do I use? What do I not use? If you just pick on a couple things like that, I think you're gonna get a lot of extra value by going deeper in just a couple versus too wide and, like you said, 17 other things, right?
Amazing, brother. Now, what is next for you, Caleb? Like, I know you're flipping and doing contract for deeds, and you're still running your agency, but like, where do you see yourself in the future, in the near future, not maybe in the next year or so?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, a couple things. The agency is growing, which is awesome. We are capping it. We've got a certain number. Once we reach it, no more. We're shutting it down. I shouldn't say shutting it down, but shutting down new people
taking new clients. Yeah.
And so that's, man, it's kind of this renaissance, if you want to even label it as such. But man, it kind of brings me back to when I kind of got started. People have been calling, hey, Caleb, what's working for you right now in your REI business? I just can tell them, well, it's Facebook, it's SEO, it's this, it's that. Like, hey, can you build your CRM? I need one. Yeah, sure. I can help with that. Can you run my ads? Yeah, sure. Happy to, right? That's exactly how I got started doing all this, right? 9 years ago. And so it just is the kind of that renaissance, like, I've been here once. I know what's happening, right? A lot smarter, a lot wiser on many different fronts. And so I'm really, really excited about that. Kind of what's next here is really on the agency front, getting to really dig in with other entrepreneurs and really going above and beyond, not just a, hey, run my ads, right? But hey, are you on some sort of an operating system within your business? Have you heard of something called EOS? Are you doing contract for deed? You're not? Let's talk about this. You need to start looking at this as a potential exit. Are you doing, those types of conversations that I get to now have, business owner to owner, that, man, like, I missed that. And so I'm so excited about that, being able to kind of go back into this that way. And so really, man, it looks like 3 big things: real estate, running the agency, and figuring out ways that we can make a bigger local impact. That's really what I'm focused on. That's going to dabble into buying some businesses and some of that here, but really just want to create as big of an impact, and that looks like creating jobs. So
I love it, man. How can people get a hold of you, Caleb?
Man, it's really easy. So I'm the only one of me in the world. So if you Google Caleb Luketic, you literally can't not find me. Facebook's probably the easiest. If you find that, go to my site, calebluketic.com. Really easy to find me there. Those are the 2 easiest ways for everybody to find me. Like I said, I'm literally the only one of me that exists. You literally can't not find me. Double negative on purpose. You will find me. I promise.
Brother, thank you so much for being here today, Caleb. I really enjoyed this conversation. Because we talked about multiple aspects, where you were, the setbacks that you had, and then how you came back around, and then what you're doing today in real estate. And we got into the agency side of it, which I didn't think we were going to talk about, to be honest with you. And also we touched up on AI, which is something so trendy right now for everybody, right? So guys, CalebLuketic.com, go check him out. He's a great friend of mine, and he's got an amazing agency. We have been collaborating together for quite a few years now. And guys, don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. I am launching my Spanish channel in the next week or so be on the lookout. If you speak Spanish, be on the lookout, because I'm going to be producing a lot of content in Spanish. And with that being said, I will see you on the next one. Thank you. I appreciate you, Caleb.
Yeah, man. Thanks.